I published an unboxing video of my Sienna Pochade box, so I guess it was about 2 years ago. Well, what do I think of it now? I'm going to talk about that in this video. It is hard to believe it's been about 2 years since I did an unboxing video of this Pochade box, as well as the setup video. I have links in the description there if you want to go back and check those videos out. But it's been 2 years. I couldn't believe it's been that long. And of course, some of my listeners have been questioning whether or not I've actually been using the Sienna Pochade box, because I haven't produced any video of me using it outside. And for that, I apologize. You know, I'd rather be painting than shooting video, so it's hard to produce videos, and I don't mean to be making excuses. I do want to make videos, but it takes a lot of time to do, and I'd rather paint. But I can assure you, this box has been used dozens of times. You can see it from the patina here, see? But one of the reasons I'm making this video is I got a reminder from one of my viewers. They saw this box sitting in the background of one of my videos, and they said, LOL, the Sienna box looks like it's in retirement, sitting there on display. No, it's not in retirement. I can assure you that's not the case. But the reality of it is, I have not made any videos using this box. But I thought I'd take a moment to respond to this. It was a good tickler to say, well, you know, what do I think of this box 2 years later? Since I've been using the Sienna Pochade box for the last 2 years, I've learned a few things about it that I don't like. Now, does that mean I do not recommend this box? No, this is a great box. I still recommend it. It's a great value. I paid $120 for this about 2 years ago. I think today if you buy one, it's going to be around $150. That's still relatively inexpensive for a paint box of this build quality. But I have learned a few things about it that I don't like. The first thing that happened to me about a year into the use of the Sienna Pochade box is one of these T holders, that's what these pieces are called right here, began to split. This is it right here. You can see at the end, this wood piece where the clip mounts in, there's two little screws there. The wood split apart, thus weakening this clip. And that's what holds the art panel when you paint. What I did is I contacted Craftech's customer service and asked them if I could buy a replacement part. Well, to their credit, they responded very rapidly and said, hey, if you send us your shipping address, we'll send you a replacement part for free. And that's what they did. And in a matter of days, I had a replacement T holder. It was very easy to install. You can see the way these T holders work, these little black knobs back here, that's how you adjust the height, as well as you can remove it and replace that. So I thought it was great that they had such good customer service. So that's a plus. It was a negative thing that happened, but on the plus side, their customer support came through with flying colors. Now, the other thing, while we're on the subject of these T holders, these clips, these metal clips that hold the art panel in place, I think are too big. They just get in the way when you're trying to paint. I wish these were a little bit smaller. They were a little bit smaller. I think that would increase the overall value of this box. So I hope they do that at some point in the near future. The other thing I don't like about this box is the size of these palette holder blocks. There's 4 of them in each corner of the box. They're held in place by a screw. To remove these blocks so that you can remove the palette, you have to use this little Phillips head key, which is easy to lose, by the way, or another Phillips head screwdriver, which you have to take with you. And it's kind of a cumbersome process to take that out. I mean, it's not that hard, but it takes a bit of effort to take these 4 out and then take your palette out to clean. They also take up a lot of space. I don't like the amount of space they take up of the palette. It makes it harder to clean the palette when you're out in the field. So I'd like to see them come up with a smaller, easier to use clip system or something that would hold this palette into place without taking up so much space and being so bothersome to take out. But again, those are very, very minor quibbles when you think about the value of this box. $120, I think it's a great starting point for a plein air box. I want to take a few minutes to talk about some of the accessories that I've bought to enhance my plein air painting experience. The first thing I needed right off the bat was something to carry the wet art panels. After I painted on this, how would I store them? Well, I went cheap, and you know what happens when you go cheap? You get cheap. So I bought this 9x12 wet canvas panel box, and within a matter of a couple of days, the handles ripped off. These tabs, they ripped off, and that's why it's wrapped in duct tape. I probably should have thrown this thing away because I probably have more money in the duct tape than I do the box. I cannot recommend this. I still use it though since I got it, and I've got it all wrapped up in duct tape. I can put 4 9x12 panels in here, and this normally just stays in the car. So it's just a storage option, but I can't recommend this. It's a piece of junk. Instead, I wised up and bought this Sienna Wet Panel Carrier box. This box, it's beautiful. It matches the Sienna Pochade box, and it carries 4 9x12 art panels. So it's got 2 slots to handle 4 9x12 art panels. It also comes with this adapter, so you could carry 2 9x12s as well as 2 8x10 1/8 inch thick art panels. So this is what I use now. This is my main wet panel carrier. The downside to this wet panel carrier is the size. It's not the size, but the weight. It's a bit on the heavy side. So if you're going to do some extensive backpacking, this is probably not a good choice. You may be better off getting a lighter wet panel carrier like the Raymar. But this is good for me. I don't do a lot of backpacking, so I just want something that makes it easy for me to pack in a backpack and get to where I want to paint pretty quickly. So this is the Sienna Wet Panel Carrier. It was about $65. Now, I used to carry everything in a great big duffel bag, and as well as another a smaller backpack. It was just too much stuff to carry. What I ended up doing is buying the Sienna Ultimate Plein Air Backpack. It's a wider build. It's wider than most backpacks, and this is designed especially for the Sienna Pochade box. I can put this in there fairly easily. Let me break it down real quick. Like so. Put in the back of this. So it's wide enough to put that in there. Then there's a divider in here which allows me to put the wet canvas panel carrier. So that fits nicely inside there. And I can put, and of course it still has room for other accessories and supplies that I need for backpacking. This cost about $70. It's probably not the best build quality, but for what I do, it's plenty good enough. It has padded shoulder straps. It makes it easy to carry. It's got a strap for attaching my Manfrotto carbon fiber tripod to it. It's got cup holders, bottle holders, brush holder pockets, plenty of pockets to put like your turpentine. Don't use turpentine, use odorless mineral spirits. I have one of these. This is a Holbein brush cleaner. So this is what I carry my Gamsol in right here. So this fits in nicely right in here. I can put in my brushes. My brushes are carried by, I put those in this It's a relatively inexpensive canvas brush roll wrap. So I just fold that over, rolls up, and I just put that in the backpack. Let's see, what else do I carry? Oh, this right here is a really interesting. Looks like a funnel, doesn't it? But it has these little straps that strap to my Manfrotto tripod, and I can put rocks or sand or whatever in this to weight it down so it doesn't tip over. Now you could if your tripod has a clip on it, you could put your backpack on that to hold it down. But anyway, that's an option to use right there. I also take bungee cords with me. I also take bungee cords. This is great because I can use these to strap my paper towel to my Sienna Pochade box. That works out pretty good. Of course, I also pack little plastic garbage bags, so I pack everything out, all my trash. With that, let's see, what else do I take? I take a razor blade to clean my palette with as I'm using it. I have this 10-inch by 3-inch, I guess it's 3-inch, I don't know the exact dimensions, Artbin box. I paid about $10 for this. I have an assortment of my colors, mostly Gamblin artist oil colors. There's some Winsor & Newton in here, there's Holbein colors in here, and a couple of tubes of various Grumbacher colors that seem to work out pretty good. So this is what I carry my oil colors in. And one last, there's other accessories. Oh, speaking of these, I also take this with me. This is one of those rubbery grips. I know, who of us actually cleaned the top of the caps of our oil colors? I should do it, and I don't. I get in a hurry and I squeeze out the color and put the caps back on, and then they get on there tight. So this allows me to remove the cap easily. And there are probably other things I take. I can't think off the top of my head. That's why I need to do that outdoor video, right? So you can see everything, see what it takes for me to set it up, to use it, and then break it back down and take it back to the car. There is one thing though that I think is really important to take. Speaking of, I also take a few of these nitrile. I don't take the whole box, but I will take some nitrile gloves because I like to keep my hands clean as I paint. And I take business cards because plein air painting is a spectator sport. It draws attention and people are going to come up to you. Now, I know there's people out there that they really complain about this. They don't like people coming up and watching them paint. I admit it gets a little nerve-wracking, but I feel like we're ambassadors to the hobby, okay? We should make people feel good about seeing our work, and it could lead to sales. So I always take some business cards with me. This is important. So that's my plein air kit. Well, I've certainly made a mess of my studio showing you all the accessories that I've bought for my Sienna Pochade box, and I pack away into my backpack. But the next thing I need to do is make that video you all have been asking for, so I'll do that. But first, it's got to cool down. It's really hot here in Georgia. It's very humid, and I admit it, I'm a fair weather painter. I'd rather be inside the studio painting than outside here in Georgia. It's just too hot and humid. I don't like that. But when I do, I will make a video and I'll show you how all these pieces come together. 2 years later, what do I think of the Sienna Pochade box? I still think it's a great value and I highly recommend it. Now, I'm still learning to paint. It's a lifelong journey, and I'm sure it is for you too. If you would like to follow along as I learn how to paint, click on the subscribe button, click on the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode, and we'll learn how to paint together. Now go out there and create something amazing.